Okay, so far we're gonna zero attendance, so I'm gonna wait. Oh, you guys are starting to show up. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Nice, nice, nice. All right, filling up. The room's filling up. That's good. That's good. Some people left. Some people coming back. That's cool. All right, guys. Haha, nice. I appreciate that, guys. All right, so I just wanted to kind of before I begin, I wanted to do something real quick for a buddy of mine. I know that you can kind of see some of my tools here. You know, kind of going through, starting my workstation here, going across to the monitors. You can see some of the tools that I use. Right. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. And right there, some of my homework for Noah University. And this right here, I want to focus on this a little bit. Oops. All right, can you guys see that? Okay. Just want to do a quick shout out for my friend Manny. He's a really, really great artist, man, a great guy, and you know, we had a chance to talk today, and it was just a great conversation, and he's a really cool dude. So if you guys get a chance to check out my man Manny, Cartoon Mornings, he does his periscopes. Throw him some love his way, please. That'd be awesome. All right. And while you're at it, I want you to do me a favor and check out Steve Sanchez as well, and you know, all that good stuff. You guys can kind of see kind of more of my office again. Oh, look at that cool stuff. Let me zoom out again. Oh yeah, it's finally kind of come together here. I got all my stuff where I want it to be, and you know, I got one of these things. I'm really pumped up. You can kind of see how I'm using this right now. Got my arts, some of my painting supplies up here. My watercolors, watercolor and gouache in here. Some of my paper. Let's see here, some more. Bristol. You guys always ask me like what paper am I using? Here it is. That's my vellum surface. I really dig that. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. You know, I kind of feel like this might be overkill, but hey, what are you gonna do? It's just I need some space. This is my 11 by 17 page stuff. I have some cards there in the corner. That's supposed to be for cons when I do stuff for little kids. Here I have all my yeah, you know, me neither until I saw someone else using it. Um, this is kind of expensive, but you know what? You know, I've been able to put together some money, and you know, this is a good thing to have. It's portable. I can move it, not portable. I can't take it with me, but I can move it around the office, and so it might be a little bit crazy, but it does take up minimal space, frankly. And I got my lettering guide here, all my those things there. Let's see, here is all my pencil stuff, or these are sorted tools and pencils right here. Um, this is all my ink material. You can see I have all my brushes there. Boom! I got some good stuff in there. I'm excited. Some good brushes. This is what I was telling you about the other day. I was talking about the Isabe. That's one of them. Some of these are kind of like trial brushes. Back at it again with the white Converse word. Word. Let's see. I'm old school. These are my markers. This is the brand I like to use the most. My touch markers. So that's for Shinhan Art. They've got some great tools and good price. You know, I got various markers there, but you know, I'm always in the market for what's right and what's good. And then what I did was I put a lot of my art reference books closer to me in this section here. So I got like my Darksider stuff. This is Substrata. This is a bunch of artists that worked on the Darksider games back in the day. Black Sad. Let's see, Bruce Timm. I'm trying to look. I'm still stupid. I'm looking through his mirror so I can like, hey, how do I look when I go? Oh, I'm surprised, or oh, really? You know, that kind of stuff for expressions and such. You got the touch, bing, bing, bing. You got the power. Oh yeah, sorry about that. And then this is all so far that I have the Ryan Otley Invincible books. He's one of my favorite dudes. Here's Babstar with all her Batgirl goodness. Batgirl, not Batgirl. Carlos Meglia, he was amazing. This is probably my favorite Of all the books that he's done, this is one of my favorites. Luis Amancio is a tremendous artist. He kind of was I think he must have worked as an animator during the Bruce Timm cartoon, and that's why I have him here next to Bruce Timm and stuff. Great book, naughty and nice. It is naughty, a lot of nudity in it, but if you guys are interested in seeing how Bruce Timm draws the female figure in nude, it's very, very good. Very, very good reference material. And then further in the back, because in here I have some stuff from, what's his name? Some Adam Hughes stuff. I also have Terry Dodson on his Red One. Really, really good. Really good stuff. And of course, J. Scott Campbell. I have all 4 of his sketchbooks and some more. But anyway, that's just to kind of to give you a little sense of the space I'm working in. And, you know, it's making a bunch of noise because I'm banging around. All right, let me raise my seat up again here. And get back to this. So I left you guys last night with a sketch of this, and I started to ink, and I got a little crazy. You can see I kind of started going heavy with the black right away because I knew that I wanted it to be very chiaroscuro. I went ahead, instead of whiting out the parts of the logo, I just went ahead and drew over the logo with the black. And to give it a little bit of a pop, I went ahead with one of my white paint pens and did an outline around it. All right. Oh, yeah. You know what's up, dog. You know what's up, Mike. What's up, brother? How you doing, man? So I'm going to go ahead and attach my deal here to the gooseneck. Can you guys see that okay? All right, so what are the tools tonight I'm using? Let's see, where did I have them? I'm pretty much, what's your go-to white pen? I'll check a replay later on. All right, I don't know if I can have a replay because you know how that goes, this Periscope thing. So right now, tonight I'm using, the tool of choice is my Pentel brush pen. And I also I've discovered that I really, really like this Molotow. It does a really good job of an opaque white. It's it says premium, acrylic premium paint. I don't know, I wish I could get it in a little bit finer, because this looks like it's pretty fine, 1 millimeter. What it means is, here, let me carefully pop it open, because sometimes they when it pops, this paint goes everywhere. It has a little tip, you can see it there. It's like a little fine tip on the end. If I want to go in and throw some, throw some little fast lines, it's really cool for that. Unfortunately, it also can it's supposed to be able to do fatter lines, but I don't know. Don't know that really if I care about that. So anyway, this is a good pen. I really like this. And my seat is a piece of junk, and it keeps wanting to dip on me. Let me raise it up again. All right, so what I decided to do here is go for the big chiaroscuro. I want the light from the center of the core of the earth to kind of break up the shape. I'm a little unhappy with some of this. I don't like very much that. Yeah, I don't bother with the jelly pens. They're okay for certain things, but not for this kind of work. Like I'm not crazy about some of this in here. I don't like the way I inked some of this radiating blast stuff. And so I'm kind of doing is here is thinking, okay, how do I want this to be light. What I mean by light, I want light to be coming through, not so much line art. I want the line art to be barely present to kind of make it look like these are pieces of light, and like here's some little more material coming off of that spot there. So I'm kind of creating the illusion of light. And so these strong black lines are kind of throwing off my groove here a little bit. But, they're important. I'll keep getting little messages on Facebook. Very nice. Yeah, so Steven, if you're out there, or hope people, you guys let them know that I said, what's up, Mr. Sanchez. I think he's still doing scopes. I haven't been on here for a while, so I don't recall. Will this be in color or gray color scheme? I don't know for sure yet, to be honest. I don't want to. The color thing was fun, but it takes a lot longer to do, and I really want to get some of these things done and out of the way, out of my system, because I've been sitting on some of these commissions for a while. I'm finally catching up, and I don't want to let more stuff ruin my groove here. So color is just an obstacle for me at this point. I think, it's not what everybody paid for. I was just doing that to be a little bit cool, have a little more nicer stuff in there. So I'm going to kind of stick with the game plan so I can stay productive. I mean, that's a big part of this. If I don't do what I say I was going to do, it'll end up becoming something that's thanks. I appreciate that. But sometimes, color can be good. I like putting in gray tones sometimes. It adds a little more pop to it. So you guys remember what I did last night. I guess I'll put this over here. I'm actually using, believe it or not, this comic I was showing you guys yesterday. I'm using that idea for the lights for lighting. I just really thought that was a cool way to oh, come on, man. Come on. Yeah, you go. To kind of light the Hulk. So I wanted, since I went ahead and did all this energy coming from this core of the cracked earth, I went ahead and wanted to make it like the Hulk's really looking down on stuff. So I might come in later and put some other white shapes in here to kind of bring a little bit of light in that area without, just to give it a little more contrast in that area. It doesn't have to be totally blacked out, but you got to be careful because it can get noisy, and that can be a bad thing. But I like what I did here with the knuckles. Very Tim Sale. I used to really enjoy Tim Sale's work that way, so I enjoy from time to time working in that style. Nice big chunky. What type of stock are these sketch covers? Must be decent to handle that ink, no bleed through. I don't know. Yeah, nothing bleeding through. Pretty good. I don't know. This is probably one of the better covers. I have a bunch of Avengers covers when they first came out with sketch covers, and that is still, as far as I know, some of the most premium covers to work on. They were nice covers. They had a big A on the cover. It was very kind of hard to see, but it was there. But apparently this Hulk cover is it's a good one to work with. So, all right. So since I'm putting a lot of light towards the center here, and then this is the source of the light source, if you will. Yesterday, I think it was yesterday, we talked a little bit about light source and how maybe I was going to put the shadow against this edge of his face, but it's clear now that the light source is no longer above him but below him. So we're trying to do that look where you get a lot of this kind of nice jumping of light and shadow all over the place. And then what I like to do sometimes, I like to kind of keep my shapes organic. I don't like leaving a straight line anywhere because, and especially on the human figure, on the face, this adds to some of the character of the illustration. So that's something I definitely am trying to. So I'm going to keep some lines here, but I'm going to keep them very thin. In fact, I'm going to switch my pen to another brush pen that I have. That's a little thinner than this. What did I do with that? I think it's when you buy them at the store. This is one of the brush pens. When you buy this pen, there's the one I've been showing you guys, which is the one I usually use, which is my workhorse. And then this is the pocket brush pen. Okay. So the straight lines would make it look stiff. Are you saying it looks stiff? I'm sorry. When you buy the other pens, these are the two that come in. The one with the blue cap it's a thin but normal size thing. No, I think no, that doesn't make it look stiff. I just like organic texture in my stuff. And then this one here with the clear gray cap is the long thin line. And what's cool about the long thin bristles is that you can throw some nice steadier lines. It's kind of weird. I don't know if any of you guys have ever used what do you call it? Gee whiz, what's it called? You use them for pinstripe liners, whatever, liner brushes. They're really cool. Anyway, hey, by the way, I'm sorry if I was being facetious there. I wasn't taking offense by what you said, so don't worry about that. So, and obviously it's not what you meant. So reason why I'm pulling out this one here is, I was going to tell you, these gray ones, the gray barrel, this is the one that has a color fast ink. If you get the one with the black barrel, believe it or not, that one is not color fast. It's actually a bunch of like it's like a watercolor paint, and if you wet it, it will run. So you don't want that. So I really like the way this is coming out here. Yeah, there's some. I'm not sure if it's India ink. I don't know for sure, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I wish I could tell you more, but the package never tells me enough. Color fast means it won't bleed. It won't bleed with water. So, anyway. The other one with the black barrel is not color fast. Really nice. Hey, sir, how are you? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So yeah, I'm going to now. I want to kind of throw in my thin lines if I can. Being very careful here. You can't press too hard on the brush tip, otherwise it'll flare, and then that's where you get your heavier lines. Like up here, I want to go in. I believe that you can. They're called Pentel brush pens. There's the pocket brush pen, which is the black one I showed you. That one has color fast ink. It's very good. And then these with these longer ones that have a longer barrel of ink, these are actually you want the gray ones. And I can't tell you how to order the difference because I don't know. So I'm just kind of using this now. Again, this is a little different from the one I use. The one I typically use has the bristles are a little. Can you zoom in so we can see the line weights? I don't really want to zoom in. I don't trust this thing. So you guys that's the problem. I can only zoom in that far. I can't go up and down. I just turn the camera. I don't want to do that. So try to appreciate where it's at because I don't want to mess up. Periscope's already kind of jacked up. So let's try to live with what we got, y'all. Let's try to live with what we got. So, and besides that, you guys can always go onto Instagram later and check them out there. And then eventually I'll put them on Facebook. And if you can follow my group, if you want to be part of I'm putting most of my stuff on my group on Facebook. It's called Jerkmonger, The Art of Elliot Fernandez. Or maybe it's Elliot Fernandez, The Art of Jerkmonger. I don't recall now. So this brush can really get a good line out of that. Well, thank you, Jake. I appreciate that, man. Thanks a lot. All right, so yeah, I'm getting down dirty here. I got a nice texture on this. Great thing about this board is it's smooth, but this brush really helps produce technically a kind of like a, right on. You guys have listened to the video earlier part because I've been talking about it for a while. I don't want to waste everybody's time repeating myself, but it's called the brush pen, Pentel. Check it out. All right, so now I'm kind of, hey, what's going on, Rick? Thanks, man. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Those of you who don't know, this is my good friend, Mr. Rick Prince. We got some work to do, don't we, Rick? Right on. So I'm going through here, and I'm putting in. Like I said, this is my favorite thing about the Hulk is that he's a monster, and I want him to look like a monster. I want him to be kind of frightening. And the request here was to make him look like he was cracking the earth or opening it up. So I'm definitely going for it. Again, I'm going to come back in with white and take care of that, my white paint pen. Yeah. There's time. Still on your work after finding you on IG. I don't know what you were saying at first, so I apologize. You ever done Grey Hulk? Yes, I have. You should do a Batman piece. I have a lot of Batman pieces. I think people got tired of my Batman stuff. No, so yeah. I'll get back to Batman. Trust me, I love drawing Batman. He's one of my favorite guys. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. Oh, man. Harley. I have to do a Harley eventually, too. Yeah. What is your first big two? First big two what? Yeah, I love Batman. I love drawing him, too. He's one of my favorite guys. It's funny. I know he's very popular, and there's a joke going around, if you want to improve your social media, draw Batman. But I tell you what, I really enjoy that character, and I love drawing his. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. He's just such a great. He's got such good attitude and personality. When you draw that kind of character, you can't help it. When you start making like sounds like when you start talking to yourself and start talking like Batman, you know you've got something special there. Oh man, thanks. I love that, man. I'm glad that you pay attention to that stuff, man. Yeah, you guys. I do a lot of also. I'll do all kinds of styles, frankly. Um, but I try to. I try to. Uh, I mean, I have a look that I want to do eventually. I'm planning on doing some children's book stuff, and I always try to get into something like that. I have some characters that are a big deal to me. Hey, what's going on, AJ? Man, what's going on? I always say you can't think of draw the Batman. There you go. Somebody asked me which is easier. I don't know. I find them both to be simple for me because I kind of really take. I can feel the character in my DNA a lot. I'm growing up. I was always gravitated towards the Hulk because I just appreciated that kind of anger and rage. And not that I'm a anger management candidate. I'm just saying that I just feel like I like the idea of the monster kind of unhindered emotion. I always dig it when it's going to sound bad when children saying, "Gosh, for crying out loud, settle down, y'all, settle down." Anyway, so yeah, I'm kind of doing some stuff here. So basically, what I'm trying to execute here is the feeling of a lot of light flooding from below the Hulk's face, and I'm trying to bring in this nice heavy organic shapes of black. I like that there's more heavier black on the back side of the hand. Who wants to join the comic industry? Draw, and make sure you draw well. That's what I recommend. Uh, you got this here, and then so I'm really trying to play around with these shapes so I can get, when light hits anything, like you ever see look at fire, how the light bounces around an object and kind of creates out of shapes. This is where I like to bring some of that to bear. I like to these kinds of organic shapes create that sense of movement and dance that I like to get out of my art. So I figure if light is flooding up, we should have a lot of places where there's a lot of darkness. So here's an example. I'm going to go ahead in this spot right here on his chest. Well, I might have to turn this over because I like to pull these lines instead of throwing them. I'm going to bring in some strong, some halftone thick and thins to create that sense of more light flooding the area here. And this is supposed to be I'm squeezing some black. You squeeze the barrel, see? Squeeze. And then some of the ink floods to the brush. You're Batman villain, higher light apart. That's my favorite as always. Oh, right on, man. Right on. That's good to hear. Thank you. Thanks for enjoying that. So yeah, so right here, I'm using this so I put a little more ink in there so it's not such a dry brush look. And I'm just kind of pulling these lines. I want it to feel like definitely there's more light coming up underneath, right? Problem is now I have these weird random shapes, so I'm just gonna throw in some more shading. Oh, very good, very good. Thanks for coming by. I appreciate it. What are you? You're a long-time fan, first-time listener? I love that expression for radio. So, no, seriously, thank you for coming by. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. So yeah, so there's more of that. So I'm gonna go ahead and start bringing some more of these lines in here. I'm gonna let the dry brush effect. What's great about these brushes is they don't hold enough ink. So when you start to throw in, like if you're painting lines, it's really kind of a cool effect if you like that look. Artist here, and always a really great dude. Welcome to the show, man. I appreciate it. I look forward to maybe encountering your work as well. Hit me up, man, on Instagram or whatever, so I can look at your stuff. I'd love to share the love, man. So I'm going into this, going in here, just letting these organic shapes here. Now you can see I kind of went straight forward with that stuff on that side, so I want to balance this out. If you look at his other shoulder, I'm going to go and throw just a couple of lines here and there, just to kind of break up that shape. and so it doesn't look so clean. I want it to look like a little heavy. Then over here, I can afford to throw in a nice, you know, bold shape there or what have you, and keep moving. Here, because I have more of his bicep exposed, I want to throw in there some notice Instagram brother. Very pleased to see your reaction. Oh, very good. Very good. Thanks for coming by, guys. I really appreciate it, man. Yeah, are you guys experiencing a good thing with Periscope right now? Anybody getting knocked off again? I hope not. So I'm gonna throw these lines in here and really get into it here. So again, I'm just trying to follow through with the idea that he's pulling apart the earth. Good. Like I said, pretty soon I'll be spending a lot more time on on Twitch. So keep a lookout for that news so you guys can come follow me there and we can make more of this happen. I'm going to do a lot more like longer versions of this. And what I want to do eventually is I'm going to do a lot of tutorials that are more specific to certain ideas. And then, you guys will have the opportunity to kind of influence what I produce to some degree or another. So be aware that I'd love to hear your guys' feedback. All right, so pretty much, this is pretty good. Now, here's another problem I have. This is all a great idea, but I feel like with this much black happening here, I can watch on TV. There you go. I want to do something here. That's true. I want to go ahead and put some black behind the Hulk. I'm going to try to respect this white gutter that I created, and just I'm going to kind of drag some tone up. I don't want to paint the whole thing black because I like the Planet Hulk being that way. I'm just kind of trying to create a halftone, almost like if I was drawing like dots or anything else to create this not solid look of black, but I just want it to be it's a little hairy, but I like it. Just creates a nice dry brush. And just so I can put enough black behind the Hulk so he doesn't look like he's just a black shape in a bunch of light. That doesn't make any sense. So I want to ground him a little more in between there. If I was using markers on this, I would go back later, which I may do, and come back the other direction with some gray, so it looks like the black is transitioning into gray. I'm just kind of that almost got away from me there. I'm working at a weird angle. You kind of see what I'm doing there? So it just kind of makes the Hulk look like he's... this is a Pentel brush pen. All right. Here you go. So that now you can kind of see I'm trying to play with this idea of the Hulk is really bathed in light from below, and he's coming from a place of darkness behind him. So yeah, I'm going to go back through. In fact, I'll show you what I'll do with that now. I'll go back into my drawer of tricks. As you guys have seen, I got my Shinhan touch markers, and I'm going to grab cool gray, 3. Now, I don't want to do this too, so I'm going to start on this side because I feel like... Here, let me fix this so you guys can see what I've done. I wouldn't say perfect. I appreciate it. Hopefully it's cool, If it were perfect, I wouldn't get so many weird critiques. You kind of see how this ink is holding up pretty good with that color. So the marker's not really tearing it up too much. You probably see more of this color come through the paper than you will the ink. I just want to kind of fade some of that tone up. Yeah, this side was probably still a little moist with the ink, so it's probably catching some of what's left over. All right, so you kind of feel that, and maybe while we're at it, I can throw in some tones up here. That's off topic. Have you done any alien xenomorphs? No, actually. I did a long time ago. I did one. Little sketch of one. I really enjoy those movies, and see, you can see where it fails here where I had some of the paint mixing with some of the marker. What do you use for your phone? I like to periscope my art as well. I use what's called a gooseneck, Just type in gooseneck in Amazon, you'll see. So I'm gonna throw in some lines in here. Somebody asked me if I had drawn a gray Hulk. Guess what? There he is. All right. I'm gonna throw in some gray in here. Just keep the light dancing. I like to treat the marker like a paintbrush. You know, I'm just kind of going in, and I don't want to do heavy things. That's one of the things I didn't like about that Wolverine and Jean Grey I did recently. It's okay. I just didn't like all that extra nonsense I was throwing in there. Now putting this gray is going to help with these whites, so it makes the whites pop a little more. I haven't done much of that there, so I'm going to hold off on this. I'll switch back to my Molotov. Bing! Do I read manga? Very little. I'm familiar enough with it, but I don't know if I cared too much for it usually. So I'm going to go in and paint in the white here. I don't care for Naruto. You know what I do in some ways. I just don't know if I care enough to read that kind of stuff. I don't like, one of the things I don't like about manga is how sometimes it gets real silly, and it's cool. I know there's a market for it, and I'm certainly not criticizing it for like a negative. I that's fine. I just don't care for it personally. So I was just talking about recently about my brand of humor. I don't see comedies in theaters either because I'm very specific with my kind of comedy. So when I'm reading this cool action thing, some of the anime was pretty cool when it was on television. There was that one episode where he was fighting that dude on those poles in the water. That was awesome. That other ninja guy, I always thought that was pretty cool, but never could get into the rest of it. All right, so over here, I want to bring some creases to his hand. So I'm just kind of sketching in some lines. This also adds a cool texture, a noise to, the subject. It doesn't not look like much, but it does. It's almost like the hair on his arm. I'm doing a negative of it, right? Because so you can do the same thing up here. You can kind of come in, and I do these lines in here, so it looks like he's got a lot of energy coming off of him. And for that matter, I might maybe he's got a little bit of the. Have you ever created a comic storyline of your own? I have a few ideas that I've been playing with for a while. Thank you very much, Andrew. I appreciate it. But I haven't had a chance to really develop anything, and maybe with my new choices in life, I might have some time. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm trying to achieve. It doesn't always work. Sometimes you can over render something this way. But right now I'm kind of, really just trying to get some goodness out of this tool. Yeah, I want to stop there because I don't want to keep doing this. It can get really weird really fast. But focus. There you go. So, all right. Now, the next thing I want to do, following this theme of light, I'm going to go ahead and, here it is. I want to throw in some black underneath his arm, but just along the edge of my globe. Hey, how you doing, Matt? I'm going to go ahead and do some of this now, too. I'm going to pull some dry brush effect into that, so I kind of get a natural beginning of broken up lines and rays of light. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to black out the earth part. Now, why I'm doing that is because I'm really wanting to exaggerate this idea that the burst of light is coming from the center of the earth. And, this is what they call chiaroscuro, a lot more high contrast, black and white, shadow and light. And what I'm trying to do is create this effect of kinetic or kinesis, if you will, or like movement and action. And so I'm hoping that, this is all very Thank you, thank you. I'm really trying to, again, being careful. I want to add some stuff in here because there's going to be a few pieces in there, but for the most part, this is where the action is. You can almost now later on what I'm planning on doing is, since this is supposed to be the earth, I'll go back in and with white, I'll draw in some of the lines of like the continents to give it that, that flavor. So right now, he's definitely pulling something apart. Maybe it's not as clear anymore, but I think what's more important is that the action is depicted. Um, so I'm kind of going in again. I like to pull or drag my brush back towards myself when I do stuff like this. I'm going to respect this spot here because this is where his pinky finger is. I might, I'm kind of grazing the page again with the brush, so I'm not creating too much. It was like some lava shooting out of the planet. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm shooting for. I'm not sure. So a lot of this for me is experimentation. Like, as I said before, I'm not an inker by trade, and but I taught myself what I like to do, at least, and so maybe when I'm working on something like this, I want to kind of, I'm doing the same thing I did up here, just with black now. You see, so you get some of that interesting contrast of line quality. So yeah, I'm trying to create that surface, almost like this. The Earth is starting to have these things, and I did go to a tech school for my associate's degree. So I had 2 years of what's considered college, basically for graphic design. So all this art stuff I taught myself. I had some basic instruction on how to hold a paintbrush for painting acrylic paint stuff, but pretty much this is just me experimenting with the tools. That's why that's why I keep saying 10,000 hours, because I think you're going to get a lot more out of that than you might imagine. So I'm going to go back up here. I want to kind of adjust some of my lines. I'm going to go ahead and squeeze. You see the black ink kind of filling the reservoir there. I don't want to put too much, otherwise it'll flood, but it'll just be enough to get more ink in there. Well, a lot of teaching is just explaining principles, right? And if you do the practice, if you do the homework, I mean, how did anybody else learn before? So they were taught. They played around with stuff. And now, if I had gone to school for the right school, like if you really want to go to school, schools like what do you call it? Dover in Dover, Kubert School is good, and they have a great program. And this is a Pentel brush pen. They have some good stuff, and yeah, sure. And so you can get a lot of great education. A good friend of mine was teaching there, and he's a great artist in his own right. My friend Anthony Marquez. But if you put some energy into the like learning stuff, you might find that you can teach yourself a lot of stuff. Not to mention there's plenty of material online. And like I said, guys, it's a shameless plug. As I get closer to getting my website working, you guys can come, and you want to pay for some of the tutorials I put up there, it'll be available. And so I want to kind of help you guys out. But it needs to, in order to do that, I have to kind of pay for my time to do it. So anyway, so what do you guys think so far? I mean, it looks pretty busy, but I think it works pretty well, right? What do you guys think? Any comments? Any detractions? Anybody say, you're crazy? Well, don't say this is fantastic. I appreciate it if you do like it, but if you see a flaw, go ahead and say it. I can take it. We can. I mean, I like it, and I'll be a little upset for a short time. There should be a print. You know what? Yeah, maybe my mentor likes to convince me to do that with these things. I just don't. I gotta be careful more these days. Can't. That's the thing. So, that's a question. How did you know to put those dots on the right and left arm? Why not streaks or something? Well, possibly copyright issues. Thank you. You talking about these guys here on the arm? It's a lot of it is. Here's what's going on, right? Yes, I agree. That's the plan, right? When you're inking, one of the things that I found in a lot of my favorite guys was they had the ability to use multiple textures. Needs popping veins. I try to do that, but I'm afraid that what I'm afraid to do is interrupt this for the sake of veins, and then I end up with not so much, what I was looking for, but something else. And so sometimes you gotta like say, okay, are the veins gonna make this thing better, or can it possibly get to the point where it's too much? Like I feel like these lines I put in here for the hairs and where where the bones in the hand are over here, I feel like that has a lot of stuff. If you start adding too much, I mean, I could try it and I could always black it out, but there's already a lot of stuff that I like though as is. So maybe I don't do that, And that's one of those things, like if I was a different artist, maybe I would have tried that and it would have worked. But I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, this piece actually feels good, and I don't know if I need to do all that. Let's give it a try first. Let's see how this goes. So the question was, how did I know to put these dots here? Well, so I was answering with the idea of texture. I want there to be a variety of texture in the piece. So I want these nice, cool, curved straight lines to be, or smooth lines, to represent. I should have a little more highlight going on. Again, I can, but my eyes, I like to do them black. So if I go in and start to add more highlight to it, then it may come off as weird as it is. I want the pupils to be small. So I think this is a stylistic choice. I don't disagree with you that it probably could use it if it was going to be more realistic, but I'm going to have to defer to this as not so much realism as it is surrealism. So I'm going to get away with creative license in this case. But good call, shade on the top of the teeth. Again, that you could probably do, but how much mileage are you going to get out of that? Or are you going to end up with just hairy teeth? See, that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes I like how it has already a feeling like, it's like you pretty much can just see the eyes and teeth. And I think that works. Here, let me help. This is when you look at it straight on. Miles Morales piece. If only I liked Miles Morales. Just kidding. See, the further back I go, I feel like I'm getting everything I need. I can go in and add stuff to the teeth, but am I going to actually sacrifice readability for a little more detail? And so I agree, Kevin. I think you don't want to. It's like you've noticed I don't put every crack in the teeth either. You don't see every. I just have a couple of lines depicting the edges of the teeth. I agree. I want this to feel like, oh my gosh, this guy's gonna eat my face. Not, is that a mustache in his mouth? I don't know. But yeah, when you zoom out a little bit, because the highlight against the top of his brow or underneath the brow the shelf is giving you the and don't listen, guys, don't, I really appreciate when I do the same thing, or I've done the same thing where I come across someone I respect and you kind of feel like you can't really speak to that. I don't want you guys to feel that way. That doesn't mean I'm always going to love what you say, but don't worry about that, because if we're going to be professionals, right? I talk all the time about being truth, and that's what Jerkmonger's about. And it's okay. You guys can express it. I'm just going to give you the reasons why I decided to do it, and then the reasons why I decided not to do certain things. And at some point, we also have to respect each other's, artistic choice in that regard. I was making a decision, and for good or bad. So I have to live with that, right? That's kind of the thing. Now, with all that said, I'd like to go in and I'm going to grab some of my older markers because I love using the shin hand markers, but I really want to preserve those for something later. So I'm going to bring my I have an old, right on. Where exactly they go? So I didn't finish answering the question. So I just wanted a little more texture here, and I just wanted to put a little, dots, lines. Those are all shorthand for rhythm and pattern. So these big white shapes were bothering me, and I don't want anything to be white, perfect. If anything, any strong white areas will be in his face, because that's the focal point. That's all my I don't want a super angry delt. Like, oh my gosh, that's the best delt I've ever seen. I don't care if that's the best delt. The question is he the best Hulk, right? So I want to impress you with the face. So if there's going to be any white areas, I'll keep it here. But all this stuff can be noisy because it's not the star of the show. The story is, but this is not the star of the show. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take my purple. And the reason why I'm going to take purple, I'm going to kind of blend that out a little bit. That's a good color for Hulk, right? I'm kind of going the opposite direction here. I'm not gonna give him purple pen, so I want to bring purple into the art somewhere. So that gives him a nice, since I'm adding color, I didn't want to, but here I am. I'm gonna go ahead and add some purple in these areas here. Awkward angle I'm at here, I'm sorry. And this is for Juan again. I hope he likes it. Okay, so I'm just trying to create this illusion that there's a purple transition. And maybe I'll take a lighter purple, if I got one. Where is my stuff here? A lighter purple. Maybe a pink, actually. Here's an interesting... I got these old markers, these old Prismacolor markers. I'm going to go ahead and... Yeah, it didn't work out so well, but it's okay. Again, just adding texture here, like if it was a paint daubs of paint, you know, and just kind of creating texture up there. So now there's something to look at, and it's also good because this purple is a good, what do you call it, complementary color to the green, which is the reason why they use Hulk and purple and green anyway. All right, so now let's pick a nicer version for Hulk. I'm going to go into my Shinhan markers, my touch markers. You got the touch. Something's falling. Uh-oh. Okay. Let's see. Let's say that yellow gray 48. All right, I'm going to go start with light to dark on this. I've got this color here, yellow green. Can you see that? It's awesome to put a little color in the explosion. Maybe that's an interesting idea, but I'm hesitant about that because it's supposed to be light, and I don't want that to ruin what I have kind of going now. I wanted to maintain the illusion, if you will. I'm gonna try to pass the green. See, the paint pen is doing a good job of just being a good white support for the color. Unfortunately, I think it may also be the mixture of that and the black may affect it, but we'll see. So far, not so bad. I'm painting over the white paint pen. It's acrylic paint, so it's taking some of this pretty nicely. A little softer. It's drying a little lighter, so that's a good thing. Okay, now I'm going to just attempt to... You can really leave it using as much space as possible, right? It's drawing design. I don't want them to... Sure. I mean, I don't always do it, but, you know, I like to... It's more powerful. It's more impactful when you do it this way. Yeah, I like that. See what's going on there? The color is starting to... It's not just... So now these tones that I've put in, these halftones, where the white and black shapes are coming together, they create the gray, if you will, the shade of that color that I want. Thanks. I'm trying to look up and keep watching what you guys say if I can, so apologize if I don't catch it right away. So like here, I'm using the gray that I put down as the foundation for the darker version of this color. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, depending on the way I use that color. Some reason or another, this area stayed heavy black. I don't know why. It's ruining my marker some too. So again, this is when you're playing fast and loose. You know, you want to get some cool stuff out of it, but sometimes you make some mistakes. So, but overall, this is working out well. The green's working as a cool pop. See what's happening? That white here is creating. See, I'm just kind of dabbing. for the texture's sake. You know, it's not bad. What do you guys think? I'm digging it. I'm gonna put a little spot of green there. I don't want to overdo it. I like the white. I like that the white is creating this nice, you know, a nice like highlight, a natural highlight. See, I just went over some of the white there, and I don't like that, so I have to fix that. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep doing this. Now, this is my first pass of green. It's a yellow-green color. It's not designed to be the most powerful. See, I'm gonna have to go back with some white because I'm getting too sloppy. Right? That's cool. This is just a light tone, and I'm gonna kind of go back into it with a darker green. Right, to do that. And maybe on the earth, I'll maybe make blue in there or something like that. All right, so that's this color, and I'm happy to have used it. Now I need a darker green, and I don't need it to be very dark. What I'm gonna try to do is, let's see. I wonder if it'll work. I'm trying to remember the skills that I've been learning lately about color. I wonder if I add a little purple, like a soft, like this pale blue is almost like a purple. I wonder if that'll make a darker version. Green dots and lips. So, you know, I'm trying to create variety of light there. Let's see, is that helping? Yeah, kind of. It's giving me a darker version, but I really want it to be green. I don't want that nonsense. All right. I'm going to go with this green here. It's a brighter green, but since I already have so much dark in here, I'm going to go ahead and try to, there you go, it's a little more of a jade. Okay, I'm going to come in here now. I'm trying to leave a little transition if I can, where the one green meets the other green. Touch markers, they work great. Yeah, I do too, man. I met the folks from them. The lady, her name is, I think, Ms. Young. She's super sweet, and she's great, and she got me in touch with the president of the company, and we had a great conversation, and they went and helped me out with some good deal on some of these markers, and I'm very proud to share that with you guys here. I'm going to go in and make this more green there, I think. I like the way it's looking. This is a nice green. Yeah, more expensive. Are they? No, they're actually a little less expensive than Copics, which is the reason why I like them even more, because I feel like they're more affordable. And if you're in the market, I know sometimes it's hard to find a good. I mean, if you want the cheapest ones, or you go with Prismacolor. Yeah, they can be really a lot less expensive. But if you don't have the money, Prismacolors are good, but they're a little harder to work with. They don't have this nice brush tip, and I actually bought some of the brush tip, and they're not as nice as I thought they would be. They the marker themselves, they flood a lot more. Are you open enough to show your method say a lot about you? Oh, thanks, man. Thank you. Thanks. Well, I remember what J. Scott Campbell said about that in that sketchbook. I think I've mentioned that several times, but I love it. It's a great quote. He's happy to share his technique because he knows only he can do what he does as well as he does it. In other words, only you can do you as well as you do. So if you share it, all you're doing is just creating an opportunity for someone else to learn something from what you do and then applying it in their own way. All right, so I like that. I like this look a lot. I feel like I'm getting a lot of mileage out of this. Yeah, see, now I'm adding more like little dots and texture points, and just to give it a little more stuff. I'm just trying to beef up what's already there with a little more love. And let's see if I can go in here. Some of this. Oh, someone's communicating. Okay, and now I'm going to actually go in here and put some there, a little mixture there. And maybe here I'll throw a little line. So, I feel really good about that, right? Not bad for a marker rendering. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't. It's not perfect, but I think it works pretty good. It's a sketch for crying out loud. Damn, it's a sketch. It's a sketch cover. It's not a masterpiece cover. Just saying. So this is just fun. You take the opportunity to have a good time with it. And then I know Juan. He knows that he likes it when I have fun with this kind of stuff. Oh, Canetti stream. Oh, I'm losing all you guys to Canetti. That's all right. But just come back later if you like. I love Canetti. All right, so now I want to come back in with. So that was, by the way, was touch marker G green yellow 47. I don't know if you can read that there. Okay. All right. I think I agree with the comment that the green in the lips now looks a little funny. That can help that with the paint. So I'm going to go back and get my Molotow. And I'm just going to go in now and, this doesn't always work. Sometimes the marker will come through. But that might be a good thing this time. All right, so now, I need some of that. And I'm going to throw in the paint like I want it there. I don't know if it's white touch-up. It's definitely a white paint pen. So I'm kind of, I want to definitely bring back some of that white in there so it's a little more sparkly. White adds a little burst of pop that when you put things like this against white, these colors help to frame them. Thanks. That's good to hear. So here you can see all the kinds of goodies. All right. So I haven't forgotten. I still want to get into this earth thing. I'm going to create these little shapes. These are my Joe Madureira flakes, chips. There's always some kind of broken pieces everywhere, but I don't have enough. So I think I mentioned drawing in the time lapse would be dope. Maybe. Here, I'm also going to do something here. I'm going to try to bring a halftone in here to break up this pink. I want to kind of, so it's not so heavy. Okay, just a little bit of that. Just a little more texture, so there's stuff going on all over the place. I'm going to go ahead and sign it now in white. All right, that's a nice spot for it. Now, for the earth. Welcome to Earth. It's my favorite line from Will Smith. All right, I'm pulling an old Prismacolor. Again, I don't want to beat up my touch ones too much, so I'm going to try to use up what I have. And I'm just kind of throwing in some color. I want some of that white to dance in there. I don't want to overdo it there. I just want a little more contrast. Good news is that the greens I use are more of a warm green. Warm greens, except for the last one that was a little bluer, but that gives me a little more color contrast between these parts. So I'm just kind of touching, just making this kind of, maybe this will help too. Someone asked about color earlier in the thing. Again, I'm being very careful how much I put because I want light. The edges of light actually have more color than the center. The center should be the most brightest part. I thought about that, so I am planning on doing that. I just got to come up with a reference for the continents, and that's going to take me a couple of seconds, so I can do a better job at that. Again, I'm not that concerned about the continents, but I do think they need to be there, because otherwise, then I said continents, right? Not consonants. Okay. Let's see. Continents. Continents. Shapes. There we go. All right, I'm gonna go typical Western Hemisphere, Eastern Hemisphere concept here. I'm bringing that Molotov back out, which is my homeboy. I enjoy him very much. All right, so I'm gonna kind of do a little that's somewhere around here, maybe Florida, and then there's gonna be some Cuban, Puerto Rico, and maybe this is it goes up, and this is the States, and maybe it's not working out that way. Maybe it looks more like cracks, but go figure. Here's the Great Lakes. The best I can, guys. And over here, I'm gonna have a little bit of a big chunk of Africa. They look kind of weird. Doesn't matter. It'll be okay. And some more of that. Hope I'm not insulting anybody if your country's misrepresented here. I apologize. It's a big fat white pen. All right, so maybe because I have these parts, I might want to add in some brown, right, to kind of create some. So it's just some general tone. I'm not that interested in making this thing perfect. I just want it to be. So maybe this is a good color. This is an olive green. We're having black people. We are offended. I'm sorry. The markers on pencils go over white ink. Okay. This is a paint pen, so it gives me a little bit of a. I know. I'm just messing with you. This gives me a little bit of a. It dries nicely as acrylic paint, so not necessarily that. See, but I'm afraid it's almost a little green, so that's okay. It kind of works. We're really trying to now. If I were to put more color into the blast, maybe I bring in some of that purple that I used up here, or maybe the pink instead. It seems like an odd color, but I want to bring like a, like in music, in an album, there's like a reprise when the music continues on as a subtle after effect type of thing. This is a good spot for it. I'm going to try this lilac color here, and I'm going to try to maybe bring some of that tone in this area, so that it's not just, you never want. You gotta have to, when you design anything, like from a logo to anything else, you want there to be some symmetry or at least a plan in what you're producing, and color should be part of that. So if you're thinking, oh, I want to have some, if you're thinking about white and black being balanced, you kind of want color to be balanced too. And it's not always the greatest thing, but it's just to kind of bring a little more something to the overall image. But now, okay, so I'm doing all this. I'm not really feeling it too much, but I like that there is some color there. Someone suggested it earlier. We gave it a try. Guess what I still have to work with? I still have white to come back and break up this color and these tones. But it does kind of work as far as balancing out. The green Hulk balances with this green stuff. Now this kind of balances out with that. Or the other color too, so you're doing it right. Yeah, I remember that time. Yeah, it was a great party. White. So I'm going to come back with my Molotov. I don't know how to say it. And what I'm going to do here, do you like to try or experiment with more? Yeah, I'm definitely going to be doing more acrylic paint. So now I'm going to do the reverse of Jack Kirby crackle. And this is going to help. Now this has gone from lines to Jack Kirby love. Me too. Can I influence you for this one, or just a concept you did? Someone asked for the Hulk tearing the Earth in half. So I did my best to kind of recreate that idea. So the next thing I might do here to kind of bring some more texture is I might bring out my toothbrush. You guys know that trick with the toothbrush? Yeah, I might do that. So this helps kind of create like the Kirby crackle effect. Splatter, the flick. It's funny. Everybody, yeah, they have different names for it, right? Whiten those teeth. They're already pretty white, man. But he's pretty cosmic now, man. He's tearing up the earth, something fierce. Something fierce. Tearing up this earth, something fierce. Something farce. You know, and it's cool. This white does a good job of breaking up all those tones that, you know, may or may not have worked so well, but now we're kind of creating another level of texture. So I'm gonna do some more of that here, kind of bring it. You know. Oh, good, good. I appreciate it. Trying to. You know, I'm not crazy about the pink, but what I'm doing here is I'm just letting the pink be a tone. You know, like a glaze in the image or a painting. You kind of just want some of that in there. And this is cool because I'm kind of putting in more of these little spots, and it just adds more energy and texture to the image. Again, always on the brink. It's pretty good actually. It's pretty good. You could tell it's it's getting clumpy, but I've had it for a little while, and the ink is pretty righteous, man. I dig it. The question though is, will it? You know. Now here's another thing I can do too, right? So I get my thing here and I start doing, you know, maybe some lightning. You know. I've done a sketch or two of Goku. I think I did one of Vegeta. It was all right. I'm not that great at it. I love the characters. I just don't, you know, I try to be cool with what I can do there. What's cool about this nib is it's like a hard plastic thing, so it doesn't not terrible when it does this. So now I can do some more. So that's cool right there. That looks like, holy crap, he unlocked something. Like this is almost like he opened the gates to hell. Like this is all that, you know, what's his name, Hellraiser stuff, Clive Barker, or across the logo, boom. That's right. Again, this can get out of hand, so if I'm not careful, I'm going to stop soon because I'm having fun doing it. Yes, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Because now it brought the focal point down to the explosion again. You know, now this is all a vehicle for the action. So before I was more concerned about focusing on the Hulk's face, thinking that was the star of the show, and it is. But at the end, now it's actually the story is the star of the show. So I brought the story back to the forefront. And yeah, so it's almost like if Thor's been hanging out here. I'm pretty happy. I think I'm going to stop here because if I go too much further, it can create a rift, a split in the time-space continuum. I think this is pretty good. You know, you know, if anything, okay. So a little bit of energy crackle in his eyes or something. What do you guys think of that? Oh. Yeah, I definitely feel like Hulk merged with Galactus or one of the Celestials or something. Yeah, see, it could have stayed black and white, but this is one of the times where I feel like the color helped it a lot. So now what I like to do is, since his hand's on the earth, I try to use the Kirby crackle to break up most of that shape. I don't really want those fingers to be that. I mean, I want you to think that, oh, there must be fingers there. Yeah, Loki got him. Yeah, that's it. I like that better. I want the fingers there, but I don't. I want them to be more like you kind of see them through the light, you know. like maybe this is creating the flavor of, I don't know. I don't know. It's almost like when like the light is so powerful and it's just it's coming through his digits and creating more drama. So I don't mind putting more of the bubbles, the crackle, because I feel like it's creating, just giving the silhouette of the fingers without being too on the nose, right? That's always kind of cool, is to kind of create. And this helps with your energy concept there, and so look, like I mentioned earlier, this is something that I've kind of been practicing, and I'm still practicing and doing things and experimenting with shapes and texture. So this is the kind of stuff you can do too with your work, and maybe you don't like what I'm doing, and that's okay, and maybe you do like what I'm doing, but you can't seem to repeat it, and that's okay too. The purpose of all this is to kind of why I share all this stuff with you guys is I'm hoping that you guys will create something new that I can learn from. And I was doing something that Elliot said, but I tried this and look what happened. I came up with something different, and I'll be like, damn, hell yeah, that's what I want. I want you guys to explore and have an adventure in your work. I want that to be an important part of your process, because that's how new things come. If everybody's so worried about people biting off of other people, well, just do these things, practice stuff, try new things, experiment with techniques. Get yourself into the art mode, not just the copy mode. Not just, if you want to be a copier, just go to Kinko's. But if you want to be an artist, then don't be afraid to do. Nothing's going to happen if you, the worst that can happen is you ruin the cover, right? Then don't do it on a cover. Do it on a piece of paper. Experiment on that. Take copy paper, something cheap. Go to Walmart, buy yourself some bond paper there, and just go for it, man. Just have fun. Don't let all this other stuff stop you, right? So, with all that said, guys, I think we're good. I think this was a successful piece. It's definitely interesting. Maybe not completely readable in some ways, but as far as the story is concerned, I'm happy with where we took it, and I'm ready to turn this one over and take a picture and post it and go on to the next one. So thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I appreciate it. Remember, pretty soon I'll be doing some more. I think I'm gonna do a little more here. Doing some more of this stuff on Twitch, and I hope that you guys will consider following me there and supporting me that way. And I am going to also eventually use Patreon. I'm thinking, and tell me what you think, guys. I'm going to share this with you guys. It's like an early concept, but one of the things I'm thinking about offering on Patreon is for those of you guys who are aspiring inkers and colorists, maybe some of those prints that I've retired, I might put those as full-size, high-res images for you guys to experiment with. So just something, what do you guys think? Would you be interested in that being one of the things that you could get out of a Patreon? Something I've been thinking about, playing with the idea of that. Don't you all comment at once. I was just asking. Okay, I got one. All right. Yeah, and some of it's going to be different kinds of instructional information that I'll try to share. Again, I'm really going to depend on you guys a lot for some of the new stuff. But anyway, thanks for hanging again. You guys are great, and you guys have been awesome. I love that you guys like to ask questions and are willing to challenge me. I can grow, and I definitely need to grow also. Yeah, it looks pretty good, man. Even from back here, like, boom, look at that. Like, maybe it's not an Earth. Maybe it's like a asteroid or something. Maltao was 2mm and 1mm underneath that. It doesn't focus very well here. There you go. Can you read that there? Thank you guys for hanging out. I appreciate it. What do you guys think? You like it? You like it? I like it. It's all right. Came out decent. Oh, there he is. I didn't know you were there, man. Awesome. All right, man. Don't forget to tell me when I can call you. Lou Dade. I don't know what that means, man. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. All right. Be good. Don't hurt yourselves. Don't drive drunk. Bye.